Hello and welcome to
Totally booked right now. Woo! I mean, that might have been the best one yet. We'll have to listen back and see.
I think we're getting pretty good at it, you know?
Yeah.
At least like the majority of the words are together.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I've been going back and I'm our number one fan and I've been re-listening to our old episodes and I'm like, actually, I do think we've gotten better at this.
It's funny. I also have been re-listening to our ACOTAR episodes and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh my God. I'm like remembering stuff.
I know. It's kind of fun to be like, oh, so I do remember this now. And there was it's fun. I like it a lot. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Okay, well, yeah, today's episode, we're now on part 3. High Lady of A Court of Wings and Ruin, and we're covering chapters 51 through 60.
Whew, shit's
getting real.
I know. Oh, real good.
Yeah.
Real good.
The wall came down.
Mm-hmm. Had the High Lord meeting. We got we're all in maybe somewhat of agreement on what we're doing. Let's hope everybody's still in agreement on what we're doing.
I'm like, what happened? Oh yeah, they left Valar. Okay. I'm like, what even happened?
Well, the last thing that kind of happened was Feyre has Amren take her to Praxis to make another bargain to utilize her.
Yeah.
And she tells Rhys, and then they kind of get,
they say their farewells to the house.
To the house, to the townhouse, in hopes that it's going to be good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get us started. The Inner Circle and Nesta and Elain arrive at the Illyrian war camp with a less than cheerful welcome from Lord Devlin and some of the other high-ups. Feyre notes that these Illyrians have similar physical characteristics and colorings to Azriel and Cassian, but most of them only have 1 to 2 siphons versus, Cassian and Azriel have 7 because they're just so powerful.
So powerful and hot.
Mm-hmm. They, Devlin and the other high-up Illyrian commanders defer to Rhys only, and they basically ignore Azriel and Cassian. Devlin asks if it's true that the wall came down. Rhys confirms this is a temporary failure, but they're going to remedy it. Feyre notes that he's still in his High Lord attire versus his Illyrian leathers, and his wings are concealed. When down the bond, he tells her, it's because they already know I trained with them. Am one of them. They need to remember that I am also their High Lord, and I have no intention of loosening the leash.
This part, I was like, does Feyre just no longer shield in front of Rhys? Like, how does he know, I know it's for us, but it's like he provided her this information completely unprompted.
Right. And I think I've talked about this like in a couple books, episodes. Who knows how long ago I mentioned this, but I think Rhys is just like constantly in everyone's minds, kind of. And like he was teaching Feyre. Yes, he was teaching Feyre before how to shield from him, but like if she's not, and maybe I don't know. He was also teaching her to shield before they were mated. Do mates need to shield against each other? I don't.
Right. Not me.
So,
anyway,
not me. Rhys gives them a straightforward rundown of instructions and plans to move southward when Devlin eyes Nesta and asks what that is. And at first I was like, oh my God, dude, it's a female. Just chill out. I know you don't like them, but they do exist also. Okay. Cassian tells him to back off. She's none of his concern, but Devlin asks if she's a witch. Before anyone can respond, Nesta flat responds, yes. Okay. Super important fan theories out there, but we'll just let this all play out and we'll see, I suppose.
Oh, so I was like, hell yes, Nesta, accept me into your coven, please. And I was like, this is crazy. They're actually bringing up witches out of the blue. No one's talked about a witch in 3 books.
Yep. And yet,
Right.
Cassian is like, no, she's not. She's High Fae. And Devlin says that she's no more High Fae than they are. And this was interesting and something I did not pick up on any of my previous reads, that he clocked her as something other immediately. She showed up and he asked, what is that? So then I was like, what is the Illyrian's history with witches? Like, why is he kind of no. Or like, okay, so he asked her if she's a witch. She says yes. So I'm just assuming that that's kind of like his line of thought. There's no proof that Nesta is actually a witch.
No, no. And
Everybody.
I mean,
So just saying that, yeah.
yes, yeah. Right. And I was like, yeah, what's your definition of a witch? Like we literally know
In this
nothing
world,
about witches
yeah.
and Prithian, you know? And then I was like, did Devlin clock that Feyre was different right away? Or was that even not something that needed to be talked about at all because everyone knew who she was?
I think everyone knew who she was and kind of what had
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
happened, I
thinking.
think. But you're right. Or maybe Rhys had kind of been like, do not say anything about.
Right. Yeah,
Because when
don't you
Feyre
dare.
first met Devlin, she was still very much in her, I don't
Right.
wish I was still
Yeah,
human
she was
phase.
going through her like traitor talk back then.
Right. Exactly.
But
Uh,
yeah, this is interesting.
yes. So Devlin tells Rhys to keep Nesta away from their women and children. Again, interesting. This makes Moore snort, and then she shifts her stance to reveal Elain. So I was like, Moore, are you trying to stir shit up? Like, what was up with that? Why did you purposely be like, oh, you don't like Nesta? Here's someone else you can look at.
Right.
What do you
Yeah,
think
and
about
like
her?
Elaine is not ready for a confrontation.
Especially now with a big, scary, winged Illyrian
hmm
male.
Right.
Sure,
And she's
you
like
know.
gearing up to see her, fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Nothing is said about Elaine, but Feyre makes some dumb analogy here in her head about Elaine being like a lone flower poking through the mud, while Nesta is a bloody forged sword in this depressing war camp. Anyway,
I mean, at least it wasn't another feral animal that.
I know that's true. I was like, is she thinking of another painting? Is that what it's,
Oh God,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Brother. But Rhys suggests that Feyre take them to their tent before Devlin's head explodes from being in the presence of so many females. So Feyre leads them away. They go to the fancy tent for the High Lord, and Moore sarcastically welcomes them to an Illyrian war camp. Nesta asks what the difference is between a witch and high fae. Moore tells her, quote, witches amass power beyond their natural reserve. They use spells and archaic tools to harness more power to them than the cauldron allotted, and use it for whatever they desire, good or ill. Are you in that same camp, Moore? Is that why you know what's these witches,
My
how they
thoughts.
operate?
Exactly. Also, her family has so many archaic tools.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to remember. Is this how witches are in Game or in Throne of Glass, or like is that okay?
Yes.
So it's the same. God, how do you remember so much of Throne of Glass? Have you reread it?
No, but I've
Oh, I
seen,
misremember.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
probably
there are
like
some
videos and stuff about it.
videos and fan
Yeah,
theories and different book accounts that,
yeah.
repost some stuff. But yes, this is very similar to Throne of Glass.
Okay,
Take that
okay.
information for that
Yeah.
as you will, okay?
Right, right, right.
Right.
We know people walk between worlds. It's just like
Yes,
how many generations removed is the
exactly.
Morrigan from the witches.
Yes. Yes. Elaine is dressed and ready to go to Grayson's estate, with her hair hiding her ears in case the glamours fail. Tamlin's glamour didn't fool Nesta, and Feyre thinks that maybe some humans are immune to this. I don't think so, Feyre. I think Nesta was
Right.
something other well before she was turned, but that's just me. Moore asks Elaine if she's ready for the glamour. Elaine seems to be nervous about pain being associated with it, but Nesta reminds her that Tamlin's glamour didn't hurt. Feyre begins to warn her to keep her vision talk to herself unless she really needs to get it out, but Elaine says that she can control it and can, quote unquote, act human. I mean, that's what she's been trying to do anyway since she's been turned. And I was like, does Elaine actually think she's been successful? It's still, I mean, she hasn't even been acting
Right.
like a person. Like,
Right. I also don't think she's even been trying. So
Right.
that's and like no one's given her the opportunity to either or treated her like
Sure.
normal. Like
It's like everyone's
so
just so concerned about like,
yeah.
I don't know if triggering her is the right word, but like scaring her or making her upset or
Right. I can't even
whatever.
understand what is going. Yeah, like why they're so careful with her.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um it's like we don't even know if anyone's even asked Elaine any questions or tried to
Mhm.
understand her visions or how her power works or
Right.
anything at all. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Just yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, sure. I think Elaine, like we don't even. I don't know. We don't even have enough information about Elain to know if we should doubt her or if we should believe her or if we should, trust
Or
her,
if
like
you're like,
whatever.
was this kind of how you were as a human too? Like, we don't get very much of who you were previously. I mean, obviously not
Yeah.
as depressed. Like, don't get me wrong, but maybe she always has seemed to be the more quiet, the more kind of
Right.
tame of the three sisters, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
But there are a
Yeah.
few things, like when the queens winnowed away the first time and she said, like, I hope they all burn in hell or something.
Yeah,
And you're like, Elain. So
Elain.
yeah, I think she's
got
just, I
more
don't
to
know.
her than we've seen yet. For
Yes.
sure.
Yes. Right.
Yes. Yeah. Elaine's fey shininess is removed, and she comments that she didn't realize how dull and ordinary she looks, but that she feels like it's a silly thing to be concerned with war on the horizon. Moore responds to her with, quote, perhaps, but you should not let war steal it from you regardless. So, like, I mean, it was just kind of a nice thing of Moore to say, like, don't let war ruin your shine kind of thing. Like, I was like, oh, that was nice. Because I think Elaine is,
should
she's
still want to
nervous.
be pretty. Yeah.
Rhys winnows Feyre and Elaine to the human lands, and Moore takes Azriel and Nesta. They are looking up at a thick, oppressing wall that encircles Graysen's estate. There's about a dozen guards at the gate, and Feyre is thinking about all this physical protection when any one of them assembled could end them with a single thought. And at first I was kind of mad at her about this, but I don't necessarily think she's being like mean here. She's just commenting on how like fragile humans are and how they just don't really fully understand the might of the Fae and like what they're probably capable of. They're so far removed from actually dealing with Fae on a day-to-day basis, like they were, before the wall was there. So the physicality of the estate is probably impressive, but it won't do much. Like if the Fae really wanted to get in there, I think is what she's trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And this didn't annoy me.
Right.
So yeah, it was.
Because at first I was like,
I think
stop it. Just like, because she just compares everything. She's just like, it's this human food. Everything's dull and lifeless and boring.
Yeah. These humans are so graceless and clunky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just falling all over themselves. Beyond the gates, there's fields and pastures and a boring brown fortress. But Feyre does liken this to a prison, however, a spacious one that could house many. Elaine announces to the guards that she is Graysen's betrothed, Elain Archeron, and she is here to beg for sanctuary.
It surprised me how big this place was, too. I was like, oh, damn. Because when she says she looked either side, like the wall goes as far as she can see. And then I was like, how the fuck did Elaine even meet this dude?
Right. Okay. How'd you get in there? What is is he let out?
Yes. And I also, this will come back later, but I missed or I like immediately forgot that she says she's there to beg for sanctuary herself. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. The guards go to get Graysen, and Feyre and co watch a series of internal gates that open. So this fortress appears to have walls within walls, and Feyre wants to know how Elain and Graysen even met.
I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. They answered my question
right away. Elain tells Feyre that she met him at one of Graysen's father's balls. Nesta quips that funerals had been more fun, but Elain is adamant that the fortress just needs a woman's touch. That's right. Feyre doesn't have the heart to say that she isn't sure that Elain will be that woman anymore.
Yeah. Like, no shit, Feyre.
She's not sure if it's going to work out between
it's like
the Fae-hating father.
and son. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's obviously tense with the guards aiming ash arrows at them all, but they get word that Graysen will come out to meet Elain. They aren't allowed any further than the guardhouse. Although they tried to dampen their fayness, it doesn't stop the guard dogs from going berserk, and they're shut into the guard room.
Yeah, so when this plan was first proposed back at the townhouse, I didn't expect them to go with Elain like this. Like, I imagined Elain approaching by herself and the rest of them just being Fae somewhere else and, like, drawing the dogs away almost. Like, so the dogs would not notice Elain and, bark at her.
Right.
Just like, so I was like, oh, I guess this does make sense, but also, what? You're going to go as Fae with her? That doesn't seem like you're setting yourself up for success.
I know. Well, like, at least Nesta and Feyre you would have assumed that they would have glamored
Mm-hmm.
themselves as well. Maybe like because they're the three
Right,
sisters, or
right,
maybe
right,
at
right.
least Nesta. Like because Feyre was not around when
Yeah.
Elain met Graysen, so I don't know that that would have been.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also was thinking about too, and I think that they felt like Elaine could be in danger, like if she went by herself with them. So I
Right.
totally understand what you're saying. Like, oh, like, but half of them could have drawn the dogs off.
Yes, yeah.
And
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
definitely assumed like Azrael or somebody would be like secretly watching,
Hmm.
but yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
different than I imagined, but yes, okay, I'm on board. Let's go.
Hmm. Reese is on the alert for intentions or plans changing by the guards outside, but Feyre is starting to get the claustrophobic itchies, just like I do. And Reese soothes her down the bond that, they're all right. Like you can tell she's getting a little anxious. Nesta is kind of eyeing her, so Feyre admits that she's had trouble with tight, dark spaces, and Nesta gets it. She says that she can't bathe in a bathtub anymore. She has to use buckets. Feyre feels terrible for not thinking of this sooner and tells her that they'll come up with another system for her when they return. And I was just like, oh, that's like a nice sister moment. Let's have more of those, you two.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I have an idea. Why don't you guys talk for once in your fucking life?
Seriously.
Like this was progress, but I'm also like, Farah, come on. You never once considered they might have PTSD from being turned traumatically into Fae
Hmm.
or from being kidnapped from their home. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad this happened, but I also would have loved if we like checked in on Elaine to been like, oh my God, Elaine, can you also not bathe? Like you're also in the cauldron.
Yeah, and so what I was thinking about here too is I think we mentioned this maybe at the beginning of this book or at the end of the last one, but we don't know exactly what time felt like for
Oh, right.
Nesta
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Elaine within the cauldron. So it
Right.
would not surprise me if they don't want to be submerged. Like what if it felt like I don't know, days,
Years
weeks,
or something. Yeah.
months exactly
Yep.
of being
Yep. Yep.
submerged underwater. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
They hear horses approaching, and Azrael says it's a dozen guards along with Graysen and his father, Lord Nolan. Feyre and Nesta make eye contact and have the silent agreement that if anyone tries to hurt Elaine, all bets are off, and they will deal with Graysen if needed. Graysen enters the room, and Feyre notes that he's pretty handsome for a human and compares him to the knights of fairy tales versus the obvious brutal strength of Illyrians. And I've already said it, but she just can't stop comparing everything human to the
Yeah.
fairy. Oh, yeah.
I mean, this has been going on since day one.
Hmm. Graysen goes to take a step towards Elaine, but his father stops him and asks why they're all there. Elaine very timidly starts to respond, but Nesta steps forward and announces that the wall has come down. Graysen is coming to the conclusion as he's looking at Nesta that something happened and he asks how. So, like, in regard to what she is now, he can tell there's something very different about her.
Mhm.
And she tells him that she was kidnapped and turned against her will by the same armies that are about to invade the human lands. Quote, there is a cauldron, a weapon. It grants its owner power to do such things. I was a test. She then follows this up with a quick rundown of the queens, Highburn, the wall coming down. Lord Nolan doesn't seem to care. He wants to know who the rest of them are. Feyre steps forward to introduce herself. And I was just like, geez, Feyre, let the real adults handle these things. My God.
Right. We know
so,
that you're not diplomatic.
so she's like, hello, I'm Feyre Archeron. I'm just but she does. She introduces herself as Feyre Archeron, which was interesting, full name.
Mhm.
And I was like, we know that this didn't happen because we don't know what Reese's last name is, but it is interesting that they're married and mated and she still is keeping
Right.
Archeron. So
Yep.
just
Yeah.
quick.
We don't know the traditions of Prithian, but also like you don't. And she's like, and this is my husband, Cher.
She's a high lady of the Night Court, and her husband, Rhysand. She wasn't sure how mate would go over, so she didn't say it.
Sorry, I was thinking about Austin Powers,
Yeah.
and he goes, "This is my wife, Oprah."
So funny. Like you don't know who that person is. Right? Yeah.
I'm Richie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah.
Rhys introduces Mor and Azrael with their titles as well. Graysen and his father seem nervous, but Graysen asks Elain why Elain is with them now, like with Feyre and co. Nesta's like, well, duh. She's our sister and we want to keep her safe. The wall came down. What do you mean? We're keeping her safe. Elain then asks Graysen and his father to open their gates to any humans that can get there because they don't believe the queens have any intention of sending aid from the continent. War is coming. Graysen says he doesn't believe her, though, not with her using some woo-woo fairy magic right now. Rhys steps in and is like, listen, dude, I really don't care if you don't like us. I'm just here to ask you to shelter those who can't defend themselves. Lord Nolan wants to know, though, what is in it for them, for Rhys and them? Like, what are you, Faye, risking in order for us to do this? And Faye is like, well, you kind of have a ton of ash weapons trained on us right now, so we're currently the ones at risk, right? Like, we're risking our lives to come and request this from you. And so she's like, what about Elain? Is she included like in this hatred that or this distrust? Moore's like, well, mortals can get hurt from arrows too. So you're right. You know, like she could be injured right now as well. We're all risking this. But Lord Nolan says no. Elain is Fae too. She took the cauldron bath first, and she has a High Lord's son as her mate. Rhys wants to know just how Lord Nolan knows this when Jurian steps out and says that he informed them. Jurian! Jurian!
You took the words right out of my mouth. Also, Grace and his dad are so annoying.
They suck.
Yeah. It's like, it's...
Yeah. Jurian tries to play it off like, it's cool. I'm here alone, guys. No worries. But Elain is having flashbacks and is shaking. And Jurian bows his head to them and he's like, ladies? Like, he's kind of being a doofus. Lord Nolan is like, they are not ladies, which causes Graysen to kind of defend their honor, or Elaine's at least. He's kind of like, Dad, like, come on, that's low blow. But it's ignored by Nolan, and he tells them that Jurian spilled the beans when he came about the queens and what happened to both Elain and Nesta. Rhys wants to know exactly what Jurian told Nolan, that those queens they just want power and youth, you know, the usual stuff. Feyre is feeling murderous and wants to know why he's here. And before her thoughts can completely spiral, Jurian says, quote, the queens are snakes. They deserve to be butchered for their treachery. It took no effort on my part when Hybern sent me to woo them to our cause. Only one of them was noble enough to play the game, to know we'd been dealt a shitty hand to play, and to play it best as she could. But when she helped you, the others found out, and they gave her to the adder. He resurrected me to turn them to his cause, believing I had gone mad during the 500 years that Amarantha had trapped me. So I was reborn and found myself surrounded by my old enemies, faces I had once marked to kill. I found myself on the wrong side of a wall with the human realm posed to shatter beneath it. Jurian looks to Morthen and says, quote, you were my friend. We fought back to back during some battles, and yet you believed me at first sight, believed that I had let them turn me. And I had some very conflicting emotions about this because I personally still think Jurian's a little cuckoo. I mean,
yeah, I mean, how could he not be?
Yeah. But then I also don't trust Moore. So I was wondering if Moore was ever fully honest about the way everything went down with.
Yeah. Or I'm just thinking, could she have known and she didn't say anything about Jurian? But I also how close was she ever to him after he was resurrected? I mean, just at Hybern.
Right, just at Hybern. But I mean, like, even he's like accusing her of being like, how could you knew me before? How could you think that I would have just turned sides like this so quickly kind of thing? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I felt I was like, oh shit. Sorry, Jurian.
I know.
Because I feel like, and I mean, there's a couple things. Like, first of all, this is how books work, right? This is what we call in the industry a twist. And now I trust that this information is real. I mean, I guess that could be twisted one more time. But also, we talked ever since Jurian, the whispers of Jurian started coming back around, was like, what? This doesn't make sense. Why? What is his motivation? Why would the king do this? Blee, blee, blah, blah, blah. So like what he's saying right now finally makes sense.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, this is the truth. So that's the other like whole part of it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Moore is like, well, you went with Clythea and madness took you. Jurian says, quote, and I was glad to do it. I was glad to do it if it brought us an edge in that war. I didn't care what it did to me, what it broke in me, if it meant we could be free. And I have had 500 years to think about it while being held prisoner by my enemy. 500 years more. Ugh. And
I
when I just was thinking about this too, he was human before. Why would he have even thought that he would have 500 years to
right. Yeah.
live to go through this? Like,
Hmm.
ugh.
Right.
Yeah,
At least you assume too, right? Like I'm gonna fight Amarantha, and even if I'm not successful, like I died trying. But no.
exactly.
Then you had to live
Nope.
as an eyeball. It's also
Yeah.
interesting to me that he's only speaking to Moore. Like he's only talking directly to her.
Hmm. Because I think that he thought that she would have believed him. I think he thought that they were
Yeah.
closer friends or allies than she perceived them
Yeah,
to be. I
that's
mean, he's also,
sad.
but he's like talking directly to her. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
sad, 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 sad. Yeah. Reese is kind of like, well, you played the villain very convincingly. Why should we trust you? Reese, you do
I
the
mean,
same
I
thing.
was just gonna say that.
Goes both ways, brother.
Yeah, man.
Jurian questions back why Reese didn't look into his mind to check his intentions. Reese quietly admits that he didn't want to see any traces of her, quote unquote. So I like, I'm so conflicted on this. Like we've talked about the moral implications of just rooting through people's mind without letting them know. And so I think it's always important to remember that like it's probably a blessing and a curse to be able to go into somebody's mind because you're not going to always find what you want or see things
Mm-hmm.
that you want. And it's like you can't just pick and choose exactly what information you're trying to find. You do have to kind of sift through it. So I'm
Right.
like, I have to remember these things when I get mad at them for not just automatically doing this. You
I
know what I
know.
mean?
Right.
Because
And
I'm so conflicted on this power and if it's good or bad or if it's being
mm-hmm.
used appropriately or in the right way or at the right time for
Right, 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 right.
situation.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and like you're always going into people's minds that like it's actually a violation, like Feyre going to Lucian's mind, violation. Like he's your
Hmm.
friend. Like
Yeah.
Jurian, you think he's evil. Like why
Right.
wouldn't you do
In
that?
and we even though he
Yeah.
was resurrected, if he's still human, then he should not be able to shield. I wouldn't think. Like you would think
Right.
that that's like a fake.
Right. And the one time too where he wanted you to do it.
I
You
know.
didn't. Jurian, be better at like giving,
Get your
signals. Right,
eyeball
right, right.
twitching.
Right.
Don't blink for
Um
500 years and let them know
yeah.
that you want your mind read.
Yeah. This yeah, so yeah, agreed. This is like annoying. And again, I felt really bad for Jurian, him being like, why didn't you like I know
Just
what you were
check.
capable of. Like, why didn't you
Hmm.
do that? Yeah, and I'm like, Reese could have saved everyone like a lot of hassle if he wasn't, dare I say, a coward. Also, do you think Reese could have looked into Jurian's mind when he was an eyeball?
See, I don't know. Like, was the eyeball just magically?
I mean, Amarantha talked to him and stuff, and he
And it was
remembers.
his, but wasn't it his soul versus like his mind? Like, you know what I mean? Is there a difference between the two?
Right.
In
But if he can remember the last
right. So
500
how do
years,
you?
I mean, it's all sure. Hey, it's a made up world. Yes,
Yep.
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yep.
Mine was in there.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I know this is interesting.
Moore is kind of like, okay, Jurian, so we're just supposed to believe you. Jurian says, what better place to gain info on your enemy than literally right next to them? Moore is still sus about why he is so focused on Miriam and Draken. And Jurian says that's what Hybern expects. And since word has most likely spread, it was his way of warning them. And then also to hopefully get Draken's legion to join them when he finds them after he's done, quote unquote, hunting them. Does he still want Miriam killed? No. He wants the opportunity to beg her for forgiveness. I was like, oh, Jurian.
Mm.
Jurian urges them to go looking for them, and he offers his mind up again to Reese to look into and confirm that he's telling the truth. What's Jurian's current motivations? Quote, because the wall came down, and now I can move freely to warn the humans here, because because Tamlin ran right back to Hybern after your meeting ended this morning, right to their camp in the Spring Court, where Hybern now plans to launch a land assault on Summer tomorrow. I, I'm enraged. I'm enraged. Absolutely no
Dude,
redemption arc for you, Tamlin.
yeah, right.
No.
I was like, what the fuck? You're
Yeah.
just gonna, after all of that fucking shit at the High
Mhm.
Lord meeting, you piece of shit.
No freaking kidding. And like, I just, I hate him. I hate Tamlin. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. There's no coming back. There's just not. There's not. Okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
For all you
Um,
Tamlin apologists out there, I've got some real points of contention with you.
yeah.
Seriously.
Right. I would love, yeah, I want to, right? Like what? What is the argue? I don't know. I can't imagine. And I'm like, what am
No.
what am I missing? Am I dumb? Like
Like, I know I keep
where
being
is
like
that
people
coming
who,
from? Yeah.
I know because I've seen all these these fans that they love Tamlin and they think that him and Feyre should have been endgame and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
are we reading the same books?
Endgame? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah,
No.
I'm like morbidly curious to like find some to see like what?
Yeah. Or yeah, just how can you think that that's
Right. They've
no,
literally like not even ever had a conversation.
no.
Barely. Like we know nothing about Tamlin either.
We talked about this in the first book. There was more conversations
Mm-hmm.
between her and Rhys than there ever were between her and Tamlin in
Yes.
the first book, which is
Yeah.
about Feyre and Tamlin.
Right. And
It's
they're
not
much
about
more
Feyre and Rhys.
compelling too. Like the
Yes.
conversations between Feyre and Rhys are like you're on the edge of your seat. You're
Mm-hmm.
loving it.
Yes.
Hmm.
Anyway, okay, moving on from my rant about fucking
Yeah.
Tamlin. Okay. All right, so Jurian is not the enemy, and Feyre is floored. So am I. Both her and Rhys look to confirm his story, but Feyre doesn't linger. There's lots of pain and guilt and rage going on in his brain. I feel
Yeah.
just really bad for him. Azriel leaves immediately to go get Cassian to start moving their legion to the summer court. Jurian is explaining what is actually going on with the sixth queen, Vasa. And I have a very long quote here from him. They didn't kill the sixth queen, Vasa. She saw through me, or thought she did from the start, warned them against this, told them that if I was reborn, it was a bad sign, and to rally their armies to face the threat before it grew too large. But Vasa was too brash, too young. She didn't play the game the way the Golden One, Demetra, did. Didn't see the lust in their eyes when I told them of the cauldron's powers. Didn't know that from the moment I began to spin Hybern's lies, they became her enemies. They couldn't kill Vasa. The next in line to her throne is far more willful. So they found an old death lord above the wall with a penchant for enslaving young women. He cursed her and stole her away. The entire world believes she's been sick these past months.
Oh, a death god, you say? We are so smart.
I know, we are so smart. Moore says, yeah, we actually knew about that. She kind of side-eyes Elaine, but no one tells Jurian that Lucien is actually out looking for Vasa right now. Vasa being brought up seems to help Elaine remember Lucien as well, and she tries to tell Graysen that she wasn't trying to deceive him. She's not sure exactly what she thought was going to happen from all of this, but Lucien being her mate means nothing to her. Her heart belongs to Graysen. He just looks at her and tells her that he doesn't want it. And I was like, oh, ouchie, poor Elaine. I mean, this was going to be a tough confrontation regardless, but him also thinking in some way that she wanted all of this just hurts me
Yeah,
for
it's
her.
so fucked up. And like part of me is like, I mean, Elaine, come on. Like, what did
I
you
know.
expect? But I can also see like she's so allegedly like pure and kind-hearted, and she probably would give him a chance if he turned Fae. She doesn't
Right.
hate them the same way though, but
Or also
like
maybe just feels like their love could trump all. Like it doesn't matter what happened
yeah.
to her, they love each other. So,
Yeah. But he's
ugh.
a bigoted piece of shit. So
Exactly. And
Yeah.
when he like is talking to her about this and he's being mean to her about it, but he says
Mm-hmm.
something along the lines of like her being mates with someone else means that she now belongs to the other person. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're human. What the fuck do you know about mates when all these dumb fae in front of you, they don't even know anything about the mating bond or what it means
Totally.
or does, you know? Like
Seriously, so annoying. I was like, nobody knows shit about the mating bond,
exactly.
actually. And, and I'm like, none of you people have de-escalation skills at all. Like, no one can, like, help this situation. Even when, like, Reese back in the beginning is like, listen, I don't care if you like me. This is what's going on. It's like, could we
Right.
just be like, hey, everybody, just like, let's calm down. Sorry about that. Ha ha ha. We're just trying to help.
I
Like,
know.
and like,
We
Jurian,
are
could you back me up here, buddy?
I
Like,
know, seriously.
um,
Uh,
yeah. And then also, always, like, the whole, you belong to him. It's like, yucky. Always. I
mhm.
hate
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then and then why I pointed out when Elaine was like, I'm seeking sanctuary because
Uh-huh.
Graysen also is like, what do you think? You could just come here and live with me and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And I was like, Elaine's barely even said 4 words this whole time. At first I was like, why do you think she wanted to do that? But I was like, all right, sanctuary. But I was like, sure, I'm sure if you invited her to say yes or invited her to come back and live with you, she would have been like, please, yes. But
Yeah.
that wasn't necessarily her motivation. She's just coming to like warn you. That was,
Right.
I mean, that's
I think
ultimately
that would have been a side perk if he would have been like,
right,
"Yes,
right,
I'll
right,
take you
right.
back," and then she'd be like, "Bye." Like,
Yeah.
I do
Like I'm
not want to
sure
go
she
back to
was
Scythian. Yeah.
hopeful, but right, that wasn't like, because I mean, and I could also see like she's presenting it that way at the townhouse,
Mhm.
but she's also like, and then maybe
And
he'll
then
still
maybe if I tell him I still love him,
love
everything will be
me. Yeah.
okay, and then I won't be sad anymore. You
Yeah.
know, I
Right,
just
right,
felt
right,
so
right.
bad for Elaine.
Yeah, it's tough.
But Feyre isn't going to take their disrespect to her sister, and she just she shuts this whole conversation down. And she just is like, "Can you please just agree that you will take in whoever comes by looking for refuge? We'll even supply some extra wards." Nolan doesn't think that they need the wards, but Feyre looks at him and tells him, quote, "Shall I demonstrate for you how wrong you are? Or shall you take my word for it that I could reduce this wall to rubble with half a thought? And that is to say nothing of my friends. You will find, Lord Nolan, that you want our wards and our help, all in exchange for taking in whatever humans need the safety." I'm like, oh, threatening him. All right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I also just thought of something. It's like,
Yeah.
why do you need to do this? Don't you think all the humans in the surrounding area know that this giant fortress essentially is nearby and they would kind of seek shelter themselves if something were
Yeah.
to happen? And then on the flip side too, like why would you reject them when they are essentially cannon fodder, right? Like you need
Yeah.
soldiers. You're going to need to fight back. So,
Right. Any willing, like all able-bodied people,
yeah.
if you
Get in
accepted
here,
them,
you
they could
got
be, yeah,
right. And you don't want,
yeah,
I mean, you are also human. Like you don't want the humans to completely get wiped out. So
right.
it would just like, seems like,
Ultimately benefit
right.
every
Maybe this would have
everybody.
just all work itself out
Yeah.
regardless.
Now we're just telling you, like, hey, the wall came down. We came here to like warn you because
Yeah.
it's like the wall. Everyone knows the wall was there, but it seems to me from everything that's described about the wall is like the humans know where the wall is and where the demarcation of that wall is just based upon like geographically what it looks like near the wall. Um,
Hmm.
but I also don't think that like it's felt the same way. Like Feyre talks about that first
Right.
time that they went to visit her sisters and it like she could feel the wrongness of being on the other side of the wall and stuff. So I don't know that
Hmm.
the humans really get that sense. So I think, you know, they didn't know Jurian was there, obviously,
Right.
either. Um, and so they were, I mean, part of it was too like, hey, the wall came down. Scary fairies might be coming your way,
Hmm.
kind of
Yes.
thing,
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like warning them. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nolan says, though, that he doesn't want just any old riffraff in his fortress. And so ensues a brief argument on how only the well to do will be accepted. When Jurian cuts in that his ancestors would be appalled with his denial. And now that he knows where this fortress is, maybe he'll just make sure Hybern knows exactly where to strike first. That's a scary thought. But Jurian then says he also has this way to make sure that they don't come their way. It's Lord Nolan's choice. And I was like, oh, yeah, Jurian is still a little cuckoo diabolical there. But yeah.
Right. Right.
Lord Nolan makes the smart decision and agrees to accept any who can make it to them. Things seem to kind of be going well or better, but then Graysen demands the ring back from Elain, and she doesn't want to give it to him. Rhys steps in.
It's mine.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
My
Rhys kind of
precious.
steps in. Precious, yes. Rhys steps in as like, it was a gift. She's keeping it. And a little extra dig at Graysen here with like, I don't even know why she wants it because we have much better metals and jewelry up in Prithian than what you gave her. And I was
Right.
like,
And like
Rhys,
an iron ring. Like that's ugly as fuck. Like
I
really,
know.
like you hate, and it's like, what does that symbolize? You know, like, hey, I'm
I'm
gonna always kill Faye for
protect
you.
you. I'm always
Yeah.
gonna
Like,
say.
give me a
Ew.
diamond, bitch.
But Graysen really drops the proverbial hammer with, I am not marrying you. Our engagement is over. I will take whatever people occupy your lands, but not you. Never you. Ugh. I hate
Ugh,
him.
I know.
Elaine starts to cry, and Nesta stalks towards Graysen and tells him that he never deserved her before escorting Elaine out of the guard room with more in tow.
Yeah. You really sidestepped that landmine, Elaine.
Seriously.
His wedding vows would have been nothing, you know? For better or for worse, sickness and in health, mortal or fey.
Oh, wait. None of those things, actually.
Right. Also, I can't believe this. Nesta slapped Graysen, which was awesome.
Oh, yeah, she did. She walked right up and whew,
I know.
yeah.
And I was like, too bad his head didn't just pop right off.
Because she's so
She
strong now.
smacked him hard. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Whew, I wouldn't want to get hit.
Nope.
So Nolan and Graysen leave as well, maybe to nurse Grayson's wounds. Maybe he's got a five-star on his face that's going to bruise
Yeah.
to the dickens.
Slap a
I hope it
steak on
does.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just Rhys and Feyre and Jurian. Rhys wants to know what Jurian's plan is. Jurian says, quote, the next move, Rhysand, is me going back to that Hybern war camp and throwing a fit that my search for Miriam and Draken's whereabouts wasn't fruitful. My step after that is to take another trip to the continent and sow the seeds of discord amongst the Queen's courts, to let some vital things slip about their agenda, who they really support, what they really want. I will keep them busy, too worried about their own internal conflict to consider sailing here. And once that's done, who knows? Perhaps I'll join you on the battlefield. He's
Jurian,
an
don't make
interesting.
me like you.
Then Jurian advises them where Hybern's forces will be weakest the next day and turns to Feyre to congratulate her for slaughtering Dagden and Branna, aka the murder twins. Feyre says that she did it for those humans they butchered, and Jurian responds that he knew, and that's why he decided to trust her.
Oh, loving this. Yeah.
Ooh, things are so good.
Yeah. I mean, Jurian and Feyre did have some moments in part one where you're
They
like,
did.
but Jurian, what's going on?
He kind of gives her a nod of approval. Like, he couldn't say much, but he was kind of eyeing her and seemed to be noticing that her intentions were maybe different than what was actually, what she was actually doing. So, yeah. They're camped out on the northern Winter Court border, with them moving their forces as quickly as they could, but still remain undetected. They had warned Tarquin and sent out messages to Callias and Hellion to join them if they could, but the plan is for the flying Illyrian Legion to head out before dawn to hopefully arrive before the battle begins. Keir is supposed to also be winnowing in his Darkbringer Legion as well. Feyre is contemplating Jurian's advice on where to attack and asks more if she thought Jurian could be good. Valid fucking question, because isn't your power truth more?
Yeah.
I've not seen you figure fucking
thought.
anything out yet.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, what does she do? The only time she's ever even invoked her power is when she was trying to convince the queens and she said, I speak the truth. But it's like, what?
But it was just a statement. She wasn't like magically doing anything. She's just
like, I am Morgan. I speak the truth. It's like, okay. And?
Yeah.
And?
Literally. And? Tell us more. Moore admits that she's not sure. She didn't know him as well as the others, and although they did fight together, she kind of assumed Amarantha had broke him. You know what they say about assumptions, Moore? Feyre's like, parts of him are broken after remembering some of the things that she saw in his head. And Moore responds with, we're all broken in our own way, in places no one might see. And I was like, yeah, I think everyone is. I mean,
Mm.
it's a
But
catch all.
also explain
Yeah.
what do you mean? Because
I
Feyre
know.
almost asks and then more changes the subject.
Hmm.
So it's also like, what? But can we go back to something really quick?
Yeah.
When Moore says she didn't know Jurian as well as others, and she's like, we fought together, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, Jurian's like, we were best friends. Why did you think I was gonna turn evil?
I mean, he said they fought back to back, which I would
Yeah,
assume mean that they had either they felt comfortable enough and trusted each other enough in the war
yeah,
500 years ago that they
right.
would protect each other's backs
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah,
battle.
yeah. And like adrenaline inducing situations like that, you fucking love that person afterwards. One
Mm-hmm.
time for work, we did like a ropes course and I
Uh-huh.
climbed up a really tall, scary thing with like my coworker and we jumped
Uh-huh.
together off of it. And afterwards I was like, you're my best friend. And I have never felt closer to anyone ever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so don't play with me more.
I
Like,
know.
what?
It's just I just don't believe her in a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
I
I don't know. It's
agreed.
just
Yeah.
very conflicting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More then asks Feyre about Elain, and Feyre tells her that Elain is really not okay. Elain hasn't spoken since they left the human lands and has been crying in her bed since they arrived at the camp. Feyre's thinking internally, quote, some sliver of hope had shattered today, that Graysen would still love her, still marry her, and that love would trump even a mating bond. A final tether had been snapped to her life in the human lands. And I like, okay, but she's Fae now, and Grayson's dad is the biggest Fae hater of them all. Like, it really sucks. But if anyone was surprised that this didn't go well, or is surprised that he didn't want to take Elaine back, I would be shocked because you're shocked it didn't work out. Like,
Right, right,
I
right.
there's no way I thought this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like the only person who actually is surprised by this is Elaine.
unfortunately,
Right. And I mean, I can see where she's coming from because I
of
mean,
course.
if nothing else, I think she she is naive. I mean, all of them kind of were.
Hmm.
But Elaine probably the most, and she's been so sheltered by
Hmm.
everyone. They're like, Elaine, you're naive, please, like, let's run with that.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, I can see her holding out hope, even if she, I mean, you know how it goes. Like, she's been living in like Schrodinger's cat land where Graysen, like Graysen hasn't said no yet. So there's
Right.
always going to be that possibility.
Hmm.
Um, and now it's finally shattered. And so,
Like, everyone else knew it. She just didn't. She
and
was still holding
she,
out hope.
right.
Yeah.
And she kind of knew it, but she was like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, ultimately I think it's a good thing. She's no longer living in
Yeah.
limbo. She knows for sure. Now she can just like move on and live her best Fae life. But
Hmm.
so like this really sucks, but like she needed that. It's like
Yes,
closure,
it
kind of.
is. Yeah. And
So
like we joke, she definitely dodged a bullet with him.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I
anyway, no
mean,
matter what, no matter how you look
right,
at it. Yeah.
right.
They agree that they should go to bed, and Moore laments that it is so hard, quote, when enemies turn into friends, and the opposite, I suppose. What didn't I see? What did I overlook or dismiss? It always makes me reassess myself more than them.
What is this?
And I don't understand. Like, I put in my notes here, I was like, I gotta get my thoughts together on this because I feel like she's saying multiple things while only actually saying one thing right now. Like,
Right.
or maybe
And
she's confused because now an old enemy is a friend in Jurian. Maybe she's also
mhm,
warped her memories and timeline of events from 500 years ago. But
yeah.
then also the opposite when friends turn to enemies. And I'm like, who is a friend? You know what I'm like? I'm just,
Right. Right. And I was like, it's interesting to me that like you're saying it's so hard when enemies turn into friends. Like and the opposite, I guess. You'd think it would be it's much harder when your friends turn into
friends,
enemies.
enemies. Yeah. Then
And
the other way
then,
around. Yeah.
right. Like, I mean, I don't know what any of this means, but it does feel like significant in some way. We don't know
Mhm.
yet what it means, but this does feel like a crumb that, like,
Yes.
once you have the whole story and you go back and reread this, you're going to be like, that's what it means.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to understand. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to
Okay.
understand.
It's just gonna be another little I don't know, point on my my theory wall of my crazy wall with all my
I
red
know.
string.
Like Charlie from
Yeah,
Always Sunny.
exactly. It means something.
No, uh, Rhys doesn't come back to bed, and Feyre follows the tug on the mating bond to find Rhys standing on a rocky outcropping surveying the camp. Rhys comments that many are going to die today, and that part never gets easier. He asks Feyre if she's ready. The plan is to keep Feyre towards the back of the lines with more, while Elain and Nesta stay back at the camp. Feyre is not ready, but she's going to have to be. Rhys very sweetly tells her that, quote, I'm grateful to have you at my side. I don't know if I ever told you that, how grateful I am to have you stand with me. And I was like, oh, Rhys, you're hitting me right in the feels because this kind of feels like a goodbye moment.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
that's
the eve of battle.
yes. Feyre gives him a final kiss as the camp begins to awaken and prepare for battle.
Ah! So even though Feyre looked inside Jurian's head, she's still surprised when Hybern's army is where he said it would be. But thank you, Jurian, for the good intel. The Hybern forces were marching over the Spring Court border into the Summer Court, and the Illyrians, the Darkbringer Legion, came from the north. We know that. Rhys used his magic to cloak the forces, so they surprised Hybern. Feyre and Moore are watching the battle from a hill overlooking the field. The Night Court holds the high ground, which, according to Cassian, is half the battle. The Hybern army is huge, but it doesn't seem like the king's there, or Tamlin, or Jurian. Also, no sign of Faebane being used, which is a good thing. Also, quick pause.
Mm-hmm.
In A Court of Mist and Fury, it's not Faebane, it's Bloodbane.
Oh,
So I'm like, is that just a typo or is it a different thing entirely? The first time they ever talk about Faebane
it
is
is.
this book.
Yes, Bloodbane was what was before, like coated on the arrows and stuff, right?
Yes. Yes. So I don't know what to
Oh.
do. I don't know what to do with that.
So maybe
But
the Faebane is the aerosolized
oh yeah, maybe.
version
Or the kind that, yeah, you
or
can
a
put in
similar
food or
thing.
something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, it
Maybe
seems like they do the same thing.
maybe Hybern's Island has a variation of
Yeah.
Fey nullifying
So many
things.
Banes on
So
that
many
island. Yeah. So I don't know. Well, because I mean, I guess Blood Bane could be what's on the, I don't know. I don't even know. Like on the weapon, because it's like the
Mm-hmm.
poison. Okay. Anybody
Yeah.
knows? Meh.
Let us know. Because
um, yeah.
I'm gonna have to sit with this for a minute and
I know.
think
Right,
about it.
right,
Like,
right.
huh, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, no Faebane. Either way, all the Night Court soldiers had mixed Nuan's antidote, that's the lady from what, the Dawn Court,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
into their breakfast. So they are at least immune to the Faebane if it does show up. Watching all this unfold from her little perch on the hill, Feyre realizes that she does not belong on the front lines. Wow. I'm so glad you could admit that to yourself.
I know I had the exact same thought because I was like, oh, congrats for recognizing you are in no way physically or emotionally ready for what's
Seriously.
happening in
Yeah,
the front line.
100%.
Yeah.
So not only are the Illyrians brutal warriors who have been training for literal centuries, but they have to trust everyone to their right and left implicitly because of how they lock all their shields together and stuff. Feyre obviously is just not at that level. I also feel like you probably have to be around the same size. Like if she's not as
Right.
big as them, like just
Mm-hmm.
can't, that doesn't make sense.
Because wasn't that part of the story that Miriam told Asriel was that the little or
Right.
not I don't want
Or
to say little, but the smaller,
yeah.
one who couldn't hold the shield is who carried
Right. She
her.
like wasn't like strong enough to hold the shield in the right position or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. So like Feyre just never would have been able to fight with them like that. But keep training for the next war, I mean, you have
Mm-hmm.
time. It's just like there wasn't enough time for you to get up to speed.
You've barely been a fae for like a year.
I know. I know. So Rhys's force attacks and breaks Hybern's left flank, just like Jurian told them to. And after the nobles of Hybern start to fall, the rest of the army turns tail and flees. Soon, all the Hybern soldiers descend into panic, except for one mounted commander who would not go down. So Cassian decides to take him out. Cassian fighting is a sight to behold. It's very Achilles.
And I thought of
Beautiful.
Aragorn. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just unmatched.
Mm-hmm.
Feyre describes it as a dance or a symphony. The skill and precision are unparalleled. Feyre's like, holy shit, that's my training instructor? Wow. No wonder Faye tremble at his name and why the highborn Illyrians been jealous of him and wanted him dead, etc. Feyre thinks about painting Cassian. I had forgotten about her paintings. She's bringing it back.
It's like she hasn't had the time. She's been just bedeviled with meetings, you know.
Yes.
That's a Schitt's Creek
bedeviled with meetings.
Yeah,
100%.
but I highlighted that part too because it was a painting. I forgot.
Yes. And I mean, this does feel like a lot of time has passed, but really, I guess, like, not that much has.
Yeah.
So anyway, Cassian kills the commander. Yay. And the remaining Hybern forces flee for the river, but they run right into Tarquin's waiting army on its opposite bank. And so they are trapped. Tarquin's on one side, Illyrians are at their backs. And so it's just a slaughter. It's a bloodbath. Afterwards, Tarquin gets to decide what to do with the prisoners since they're on Summer Court land. He takes a few to question, I'm sure brutally, and then he drowns the rest. Yeesh.
In the way this is described, it's like, I was just thinking about it. I was like, I have never wanted any part of being in a battle. War is really scary enough. But someone just conjuring water and drowning you while you're just standing there. Or even like fire or Amren giving hallucinations in the battle. Like, that sounds horrific. No, thank you. I do not want to be involved in this at all.
Yeah. No way. I'm a wimp. After the battle, Feyre doesn't see Rhys or the others for hours. The Illyrian war camp is moved from the border of the Winter Court and rebuilt at the edge of this battlefield. Mor and Feyre bring Elain and Nesta to the camp last. Elain is a shell. She just goes straight into her tent. She's not handling the aftermath of the Graysen confrontation well at all. Nesta, however, just stands and stares at the muddy and bloody plain where the battle took place. She listens to all the Illyrian soldiers whispering about Cassian and how well he fought and how cool he is. Basically, he fought like an Elias, their most ancient warrior god and the first of the Illyrians. Guess it's been a long time since anybody's seen Cassian in open battle, doing his thing. Cassian was young in the first war too, so he's leveled up quite a bit. Feyre thinks the Illyrian soldiers are looking at Cassian kind of like they look at Rhys. Cassian is like them, but other. And Nesta is just like calls to like, hey, she's just listening to it all. She's like, wow, everyone really likes Cassian. And I can just imagine this is like feeding Nesta's little crushy crush. Because just like in real life, you're kind of interested in somebody, maybe. Then you hear a bunch of other people talking them up. They like them. And then you're like, wait, okay, what? Maybe I do like this person.
Right? Like, since everyone else wants you, now I can admit that I want you too. Or maybe that just makes me want you because everyone else wants you. I don't know.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Been there, done that. After Nesta checks on Elain, who's sleeping in her tent, she helps cut up linen for bandages. So that's what the girls are doing when Rhys and Cassian finally approach. Nesta jolts up. She's just staring at Cassian. He's all battle weary, sweaty, dirty, hot. Don't forget about hot. And Nesta in this situation,
this is like Aragorn throwing the door open. Yes. Striding in.
Yeah. God, that is the best part of those movies. Nesta notices right away that Cassian's hurt. Rhys is like, say what? Nesta reaches for Cassian's shield arm. He gives it to her and retracts his armor so she can see that he has a swollen wrist. Feyre doesn't understand how Nesta noticed this through Cassian's armor. I mean, same. Feyre thinks, quote, she must have read it in his eyes, his stance. I hadn't realized she'd been observing the Illyrian generally enough to notice his tells, end quote. And I'm like, Would Cassian have a tell, though, for a sprained wrist? Honestly,
Right.
seems kind of like a minor injury, all things considered. I don't know. I wonder if it's some other type of power that Nesta has, or like some draw she has to him. You know what I mean? Maybe there's a little connection that makes her
It's like
feel.
maybe she can sense when he's injured for another reason.
And I feel like Feyre's actual problem with this is that Nesta noticed something that Feyre didn't.
Right.
And she just doesn't like it when Nesta's better at things than she is.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, Feyre's reaction to this is one thing, but why Nesta's reaction to this?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, things are happening. Nesta wants to know how to fix Cassian's wrist. So he sits down so she can wrap it up for him and lock it in place just enough so that sprain can repair itself. She's helping. Yeah. Cassian's mostly quiet through this. I wonder if they've how often they've touched too. You know what I mean?
Ooh, like their first touches.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Cassian's mostly quiet through this. Just he grunts to let Nesta know if the band's too tight or it's too loose or whatever. And he's just staring at Nesta the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for them to bone.
We're not going to be able to get through Silver Flames.
I'm so excited. Okay.
You should be. You should be.
That book's going to go by in 2 episodes because I feel like it's just going to be and then they did it. And then they did it again.
And again. And
something about a headboard. That's all I know. Okay. Get ahead of myself. So yeah, when okay. So when Nesta's all done, she goes to pull her hand back, but Cassian grabs her fingers and thanks her. They're just staring at each other. Feyre is watching this intently. Quote, Nesta did not yank her hand away, did not open her mouth for some barbed retort. She only stared and stared at him, at the breadth of his shoulders, even more powerful in that beautiful black armor, at the strong column of his tan neck above it, his wings, and then at his hazel eyes, still riveted to her face. Cassian brushed a thumb down the back of her hand. Nesta opened her mouth at last, and I braced myself. Quote, Feyre, come on. You really think after all that, Nesta is going to say something really mean? Or something you have to brace yourself for? Unless you're bracing for them to start making out. I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Right. Are you bracing yourself for them to kiss? Or are you bracing yourself for a little fight breaking out between them?
Right.
Cassian was just in battle. Nesta was clearly concerned about him. She's wanting to wrap his sprained wrist up
they're in their own little world, man.
Exactly.
You think that, but I mean, Feyre literally braces herself every single time Nesta's about to talk. That's her descriptor every time. I brace myself. And then Nesta didn't say anything. I brace myself and blah, blah, blah.
And it was fine. I was ready for the worst, but nothing happened. I keep wanting the worst to happen, and it's not.
But right at that moment, dumb Moore shows up, and she goes, "You're hurt?" Cassian snatches his hand away from Nesta. What? Rude. Nesta seems kind of shocked that her hand is suddenly empty, and she abruptly leaves the tent.
I mean, I wrote down here, I kind of hated this. I didn't kind of. I hated this. One, because it actually felt intentional on Moore's part. I think she walked 100%. In, she saw them holding hands, and then she's like, "You're hurt?" Why would she? Again, it just felt intentional. Might not have been, but it really felt that way.
Right.
And why does it matter so much if Moore sees Nesta and Cassian doing this? They're in front of other people when this is happening right now. And I'm like, or did she just kind of snap them out of their moment? Did that feel like they were in a bubble and nobody else was there? I don't know, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, 100%. Snatch your hand away. He already did the thing where he he grabbed Nesta's hand and reached behind him and didn't even look at Moore to grab her hand to winnow. Why did I mean, I guess I don't get it either, but and then Cassian and Moore just have their normal banter, whatever, and Nesta doesn't come back for a long time. So yeah, a couple things that are annoying here too, where I'm like, why wouldn't Cassian be a little upset about Moore for ruining that moment?
Right. Yeah.
And then I feel like Nesta's very much a 1 step forward, 3 steps back kind of person. And so, come on, like,
Whoa,
not
boy.
good.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just hit the nail
I'm
on the head.
sure it's going to be great in a couple of books. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is. It's really great. But yeah.
Even Jared cried when he listened to
Really? Oh, I'm sure he
Summer
did.
Flames. Yeah.
I cried multiple times in that book. So yeah.
Okay, let's see how dead inside I am. Anyway, Feyre, Mor, and Nesta help the wounded long into the night. After working with the wounded and hearing talk of the battle, Mor seems upset, agitated that she wasn't part of the fighting. And I'm assuming she like also feels guilty, like she wasn't helping. That's like kind of the vibe too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like she's a strong fighter and she's just
And
I know she's like protecting the girls or whatever, but come on.
I know. Shouldn't they be on like rotation for this maybe? But I
Right.
also don't know that there's like anyone else in the Illyrian army or the Darkbringer army that Rhys would trust to like stay back.
Yeah.
With
I mean, I feel like
Feyre,
Feyre's
Nesta, and Elain. Yeah.
right. Strong enough though to like
Sure.
winnow them away, or at least to just like keep them protected enough that they can watch the battle.
He doesn't trust Feyre to not do something stupid.
You're right. Well, hey, let's see if she does anything stupid later. But Feyre's like, I wonder where like Mor would even fight with all of the forces we currently have, or would she command anybody or answer to people? What?
Well, I think she's just saying that because she's like, Mor is not an Illyrian, but she doesn't want to fight with the Darkbringers with her dad. So like, where would she be on the battlefield? I'd be like, if I was Rhys, I'd be like, I don't fucking care what you say. She's coming to fight here right now, and you are going to listen to her. Like, I don't understand why that would be so.
Yeah.
But it's like a respect thing, I think, with the Illyrians and women, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Difficult.
And besides, he saves her until Cassian and Azriel are dead. That's what he said.
Right.
Book 2.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Feyre is still wondering about all this when she finally gets back to the tent and she gets in bed with Rhys. Rhys tells Feyre that she smells like blood. So interesting you should say that because Feyre only washed her hands and forearms. Feyre couldn't manage a full bath because she's just so tired. I can't tell you how fucking pissed off and annoyed I am about this. Not only, just the thought of getting into bed dirty all by itself
I know.
is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But like you have magic, snap your fingers and clean yourself at the very least. Come on.
I know. And,
I
mean, she was not battling, but she was tending to the wounded. Yeah. So it's not like
she's covered in blood.
And she's probably sweaty and gross.
And it's so like, muddy. They're dirty.
Yeah.
But like she's so tired. But what do you know? She's not so tired. She can have sex with Rhys. I just hate it so much. Whatever. Okay. I mean, we're going to pretend like they're not fucking disgusting. This was kind of a hot scene. Yeah. I mean,
I was cackling because I like, knew that you would be raging because I did even think about this too. I was like, even if you aren't like clean, the snap your fingers to at least remove the grime. Like, I don't understand why you didn't.
Yeah.
Do that. Yeah.
Just crazy. After they're done, Feyre's lying on the bed and Rhys kneels between her legs. If I ignore every other variable, yes, kneeling man. Love it. Feyre is looking at the tattoos on Rhys's knees, the iconic mountain stars. Rhys tells Feyre that he thought about her every moment he was on the battlefield and it helped focus him and let him get through it. Lovey-dovey moment ensues. Then Feyre looks at Rhys's suit of armor, which is cleaned and displayed on a dummy. Okay, so you had time to clean your armor, but not your physical bodies. Got it. But I guess there's the argument that like your dirty armor will kill you and your body is just, being dirty does not pose the same risk. But I don't understand the hygiene practices in Prithian, okay?
It was so funny because this was so funny to me because I was like, I just assumed that the Fae are like almost like perfect beings. They don't have BO. They don't have bad breath. Their farts don't stink. I don't know. Maybe they're just...
Maybe.
But that doesn't change the fact that you're covered in blood and muck and everything else. Yeah. So,
I just, what? I work downtown. I've been around a lot of people that don't bathe regularly. Okay. I just can't. Okay.
I get it.
It's too real. Feyre starts talking to Rhys about how this battle felt different from the Adriata battle. Adriata, whatever, was chaotic, and they winnowed an active battle. It's like there's no choice but to immediately join the fray, so you weren't instantly killed. Plus, there were people to defend, and it's all disorganized. But the battle today, marching in formation toward the enemy, that's extra intense, and it's all taking place like in one location. So you can't really avoid the brutality and scale of that horror. Like she was fighting on different levels of a palace, right? It's like we killed all these people in this room. Let's run to the next. Versus you're just like watching everything. And
it's like nonstop.
Right. Yes.
You like at least when you were in those chambers at Adriata, like you saw your enemies. Yes, like more could be coming, but like this is like just a vast, expansive,
never ending
battlefield. Yes.
Yep. And it's like knowing that it's about to happen. Like I can't imagine like trying to sleep and knowing the next day you're going to be in a battle versus like, oh, it's happening and now I just have to deal with it.
Right.
Cause like, right. Anticipation is great when you're about to kiss, but when you're about to experience extreme physical pain and possible death, not so much.
No. It's totally different. Don't like it.
Much different. Then Feyre asks, will you be ashamed of me if I admit that I'm not sure if I'm ready for that sort of battling? Who is ever ready for that? Much less an essentially untrained 20-year-old human turned Fae. I really don't like to talk about how Feyre used to be a human, but seriously, Feyre is in no way a warrior or prepared to experience that. Plus, nobody likes it. War fucking sucks. Killing sucks. Being hurt sucks. No one wants to do that. PTSD is a thing for a reason.
My thoughts exactly. And I was also a little proud of her, though, for admitting that she didn't think she could do something. Because she can be super stubborn, which isn't like, it's not a bad thing to be stubborn about things, but it can be when you continually want to help and put yourself in danger.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. This was kind of a big moment for her. She's never, ever been like, I don't want to do this thing. And she's not spiraling, being like, it's because I'm useless.
And I'm weak and I'm not in a mirror. She's just like, I don't think I want to be down there. That looks horrible.
Yeah. Actually, now that I saw it, I'm good.
Yeah.
And Rhys is like, of course not. Like, I would never think that. Duh. Rhys agrees with Feyre too, that today's battle is very different than the battles of Adriata or Valaris, like surprise attack. But Rhys does think that if Feyre had more time to train with a unit, she could easily fight in the lines and hold her own, but only if she wanted to. Right. I said that earlier. It's just not enough time to get her to the same level.
Right.
So she could be cannon fodder, but to actually win, like, no.
Right. Yeah.
Plus, Rhys doesn't want Feyre down in that hellscape. I could totally see, like, you want to shelter somebody. You're different.
You don't want
battle. I mean, she already said that too. She's like, well, war changes people and blah, blah, blah. But Rhys and Feyre are a pair, and if she ever wanted to fight next to Rhys, he would be honored. Meryl, so cute. Then Feyre says, I feel like a coward now. Oh, what do you know? Feyre's favorite fucking word. Also, fuck that. Coward and proud of it. I would like to keep all of my limbs, please.
This was another one of my Kirsten highlights because just the coward, because she calls herself one. But I hope that she because she internally, like, she's feeling really bad about herself and she's calling herself a coward on top of it. So I'm like, can you just remember the feeling that you're feeling right now when others are in a similar situation where they're maybe not prepared or ready to face something, and then you call them a coward?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I mean, put yourself in other people's shoes.
I mean, call Baron a coward. That's fine.
Right.
But I mean, like, anybody else. Like, when you're talking about, like, Nesta or,
Yeah. Totes. So. Yeah, so Rhys talks Feyre down from the ledge. Of course, no one would think that. Plus, Feyre's present and helping tend to the wounded and attending meetings and councils and stuff. I'm sure her sage advice is much appreciated in these situations. Feyre decides she believes Rhys. Like, okay, he's telling you the truth. Of course you believe him, you dumb idiot.
Yeah.
All right, God. Meanwhile, Azriel is trying to find the rest of Hybern's host and discover their next movements, but he cannot. Feyre wonders if Tamlin is with Hybern and if Tamlin had told Hybern everything that had been discussed at the High Lord meeting, like all the weaknesses between the courts, yada yada. She goes, I didn't dare ask anyone. Why not?
I know, especially because I think that it would actually be important to discuss this within the group to gauge how everyone else feels about this situation and why they can't find Hybern's forces and all that kind of stuff. And maybe also help you to learn a little bit about like war intricacies that you don't have any clue on yet. Like, like I feel like it
Right.
would be a beneficial question to ask. And it wouldn't be like oh, you're so dumb, Feyre. Like, of course, this is what they're doing. Da, 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 da. Like, I think it
Mm-hmm.
would actually prompt a good discussion. I don't know why you wouldn't want to
Yeah.
ask that question.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, this feels more cowardly, actually cowardly, than
Mm-hmm.
not fighting in a battle that you would immediately be killed in. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I feel like a coward. I didn't fight in the battle, but I can't ask this question about Tamlin and Hybern.
Right.
It's like, oh my
Doesn't
God.
make sense. Yeah.
Right. It makes no sense.
No.
Feyre does ask Nesta, however, if she can feel the cauldron's power stirring. Nesta doesn't feel anything, though. Rhys is also frequently checking in with Amryn to make sure nothing's going on in Valaris and to see if Amryn has made any progress with the book or if she's found some alternative way to stop the cauldron. But even if Amryn did find something, they still need to know where to find the king, and they can't do that. Pharaoh's waiting to release Bryaxis because Bryaxis is a secret weapon, and you can't reveal your secret weapon too early.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all just hanging out in camp for 5 days before Azriel shows up to relay that Hybern's host had somehow gotten around them entirely, and its forces marching up the seam between the autumn and summer courts toward the winter court. Motivation's unknown. I mean, I guess, besides death and destruction.
Right. I mean, but it's also valid to ask what the heck they're doing that for. Why
Yeah.
march north deeper into the enemy territory and have greater risk of getting cut off from supplies? Like,
Yeah, that is a
that
good point.
seems stupid to, I mean, even if it's a
Sus.
distraction, even if it's, a ploy to try to lure them and just like have their army splitting up and going in different directions because they're showing up in all these places. Like, I'm sure there's strategy
Yeah.
behind it, but it doesn't make sense why they were going here. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally. Agreed, but they're half a day's flight from the army right now. So Azrael has already sent warnings to Callias and Vivian, and the War Council debates next steps for hours and finally decide that Rhys is going to veil their entire army and they will march, winnow, fly, whatever, as quickly as they can after the Hybern army. But they'll put a glamour on their current camp, so it looks like they haven't left. So Feyre uses almost all of her power, creating this very elaborate glamour so that it looks like this entire army is still here. Cressida and Rhys also help.
I just want to throw out here that power wells or power stores is not nearly as in depth explained or discussed in this series in comparison
Oh,
to Throne of
yeah.
Glass. Like, it's very
Yeah.
big deal in Throne of Glass.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. In this, it's almost just like, oh, it's like if you were to run a mile or something, you're just like, woo, I'm tired.
yeah,
But
but
in
there's
Throne of
not,
Glass, yeah, it feels very
yeah,
different.
yes, yeah. So I just
Mm.
wanted to throw that out there for this because it is a lot less, it's just more told versus
Yeah.
like shown what's going on with the magic. So just,
Yeah. For sure. Um, yeah, I really want to reread Throne of Glass.
I know.
So bad. Also, Tarquin's summer court soldiers and Kyr's legion can't fly, so Tarquin uses all his magic and winnows them along with everybody else. But Tarquin's like, it's cool. I fight better with the sword anyway. Like, this seems unwise. Foolish, if you will.
Yes, agreed.
It's
Yeah.
like, what? They finally catch up because, like, if you're that strong to winnow an entire, like, what army, 2 armies, like, how much power could you use to fucking fight and kill people with? Like, we kind of need that more.
And you know what else I'm thinking of too? Like, okay, when they have to winnow everybody, doesn't everybody have to be like touching? So are they
Yeah.
like, okay, put your right arm on the right
right.
shoulder of the person in front of you?
Backs to butts, ladies.
Yeah.
They're just like holding each other's wings.
Yes.
In one line.
How are we doing this? It's crazy.
Yeah. That's really funny. So yeah, they finally catch up with Hybern's host, which has been marching all day. So they should be nice and tired. Night Court Alliance Forces. I feel like we should give them a name. The NCA.
Sure. Perfect.
Night Court
Love it.
Alliance.
Nice.
They're fresh and ready since I guess they were nicely winnowed, but by some of your most powerful fighters. Great job. Super cool. The NCA attacks, but it turns out Hybern was just faking it, and they were ready for this. Fuck. Okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. Moore, Nesta, and Feyre are watching the battle again from a hill. It's very clear that Moore wishes she was down there fighting with everyone else. Also, things are not going well. The Hybern forces are really giving the NCA a run for their money. Cassian starts behaving erratically, disobeying orders. Things are just starting to fall apart in general and get more desperate and dire. And then to top it all off, starts pouring rain. Cassian's being overwhelmed, and Azriel can't get to him to help him. Feyre's brain's going a mile a minute. She's thinking about how Hybern has hidden all of its forces and Azriel can't figure out where they are. Elaine couldn't see the army either when they asked her. And then suddenly Feyre realizes who or what, I don't know. She has to hunt down the suriel! Deus Ex Suriel to the rescue!
That suriel better get that tea ready.
Yeah. I can't wait. Feyre is worried that the suriel won't appear for her if Moore is there too. It's like Feyre and the suriel are BFFs.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
Feyre also knows that Moore would never let her go alone. So Feyre convinces Moore to join the battle after some back and forth between them. So Feyre can sneak away. I'm also like, aren't you more superior? Can't you be like, I order you to stay here while I go hunt for the suriel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that Feyre also has not she hasn't done any true leadership things yet. So
yeah,
I don't know.
She's never pulled rank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, they do need Moore's help down there. So
right.
Nesta even jumps in, imploring Moore to go. She's playing right into Feyre's shit. She doesn't even realize it.
and Nesta, all she can think about is Moore, just go down there and save Cassian.
Yeah,
she can't even tell that Feyre's got other plans going on. She's just standing there. She's like, yes, go help. Yeah,
yeah. Because Cassian, again, he's floundering. So Moore winnows right to Azriel's side, and they start cutting a path to Cassian. But even they start to get overwhelmed. There's no time to lose. Feyre, get out of there. Nesta asks where Feyre is going, but she doesn't actually care, and she turns back to watch the battle. Okay, so Feyre has to track the suriel. Good luck. It could be anywhere in Prythian. How are you going to do this? Oh, just kidding. She's going to see if Elain can do it. So Feyre goes to Elaine's tent. Elaine's just lying in bed, staring at nothing. Come on, Elaine. You're better off without that dude.
I know. You're fine, girl. You're okay.
Yeah. Feyre is a little mean to Elaine. Debatable. And she doesn't even use the word mean. She says, perhaps I wasn't as gentle as I should have been. Also, I think it's time we were a little mean to Elaine. She needs to get it together. It's been months. Stop. Yeah. Plus, she's not a mentally handicapped child. You have to coddle or tiptoe around. She's a grown, no longer human woman. Okay. God.
I know. She needs a snap out of it moment for sure.
She needs to be slapped across the face.
She does. It's been months since she was turned. And while the Graysen altercation, I will admit, is still very fresh, she needs to touch grass and remember that she is still here. Yeah.
Right. It's like, how long did you even know this guy? I know you're going to get married, but I'm sure your courtship was I met him at a ball and we danced twice. And then we had
was
another.
Not gone that long.
Yeah. We had some other
going home to the
human
visits. Lands. Yeah. Because remember, she goes home to the human lands when the Archeron residence is reestablished and they're in their fancy house. Elaine's not engaged then. She goes under the mountain. All that stuff happens. Everything happens so it was maybe 7 months between Feyre leaving her sisters under the mountain and then going back and seeing them again. Listen, I'll even be generous with 8 or 9 months. I don't think it was that long. I think 6 is probably closer to the amount of time it was between then.
Right.
So that's
and I would assume courtship's probably not super long and so I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
How long does it take for you to actually get engaged and plan a wedding? I just feel it's probably not a long time. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And olden times, it's not like they hang out by themselves or they've slept together or anything.
No.
Not
how the humans for sure. Yeah.
Could you really be?
Yeah.
So Feyre tells Elaine about the suriel and explains there are many who bear that name, but she's looking for one in particular. And I was like, I have so many questions about the suriel as a species. I thought there was only one. And if like, it's like, here's just the suriel species, and Elaine's like, oh, I see one. And she
Yeah.
goes, and it's like, do they have a hive mind? Like, can she just like go anywhere?
I
No, it
know.
seems like she found the right one, but how?
I know, because it was so interesting because I must have just blew past this part. Because when it said, there are many that bear the name, I was like, wait, there's what? There's more than one?
Yeah, I
I thought there was one.
suriel. Yeah,
What's going on right now? Okay.
100%. Elaine tries to protest, like she doesn't know how to look, and Feyre thinks she should have let Amren train Elaine too. You think?
Dear.
Get her
Yeah.
out of her funk.
Mm-hmm.
Feyre goes into Elaine's mind to show her what the suriel looks like, and she says Elaine has no mental shield or barriers, and the gates to her mind were solid iron covered in vines of flowers. The blossoms were all sealed like sleeping buds, tucked into tangles of leaves and thorns. Wow, that's some spring court imagery, huh?
Yeah, it is. Ooh, my eye's twitching so bad right now.
I can't tell if it's twitching because it is spring court imagery or it's something different.
Yeah. No. A couple things.
Because it looks just like Tamlin's little tantrums that he has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Like calls to like.
Yeah. I don't know. Lucian's been hanging out in the spring court for a while. Maybe he's flowery.
Maybe. Maybe.
How can Elaine have? Okay. Don't.
I know.
Yeah. Right.
Listen,
right.
After we finish maybe this one, before we go on to Frost and Starlight, I will get a list of all of the. Well, we might have to read Silver Flames before we can get into some additional like theories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just
yeah.
some of the
You
stuff.
don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Elaine uses her woo-woo magic and finds the suriel, but it's on the move. Elaine says it moves through the world like the breath of the western wind, and Elaine points to its location on the map. The suriel is in the middle, just a few miles south of the Weaver of the Woods cottage. Oh my God. I'm so excited.
Oh my God. I can't wait. I'm kicking and screaming over here.
Feyre winnows there as fast as she can. She's very tired because her power was nearly drained from the clamoring she'd done yesterday. She just winnowed a very far distance very quickly, and she summoned flames to dry herself because it was raining earlier. Whew, okay, it's no time to be tired. Feyre remembers the air of the forest. The trees are thick with moss, blah, blah, blah. It's eerily quiet in these parts, and the battle Feyre just left feels small and far away. Feyre's like, damn, maybe I should have brought more with me. I'm kind of scared.
Because she's never been there by herself. Reese went with her last time, at least. Yeah.
And I mean, there are other things in these woods, not just like,
Mm-hmm.
The Hansel and Gretel witch. Feyre slowly starts picking her way through the forest and thinks about the Weaver and how she's a bone carver's twin and they have a third sibling, etc. Feyre draws her blade, but then, quote, an ancient rasping voice asks behind me, have you come to kill me or to beg for my help once again, Feyre Archeron? Yay, thanks for finding us so quickly. Suriel, don't be silly. Of course she hasn't come to kill you. Definitely the second one.
Yeah, totes. She is not here to kill you.
Has she ever tried to kill you? Jeez.
No, but Feyre does demand information a lot. So.
Yeah. So I was like, tell me right now.
Yeah.
Feyre turns to look at the suriel, and it's now wearing a different cloak than the one Feyre gave it only a few months ago when it told Feyre that Reese was her mate. Damn, it feels like a lifetime ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This new cloak is heavier and darker, but the fabric's already torn and shredded. At first I was like, rude that the suriel didn't even keep your gift, but then I was like, I guess it goes through cloaks very quickly. Maybe that's why it always wants a cloak, because when it travels around, all the wind whips through it, gets all holy. Also, where did it get this cloak? Who's just giving the suriel cloaks, I
don't know. Mm-hmm. I personally think that it's got the cloak Feyre gave it hanging up at home because it's its favorite cloak. And it's very only for special occasions, okay? Just kidding.
Yes, I like that. Yes. Okay, that is canon. Mm-hmm. The suriel helpfully reminds Feyre that this is the third time she's hunted it down, but this time Feyre, quote, sent the trembling fawn to find me. I did not expect to see those doe eyes peering at me from across the world. Huh?
Elaine.
Yeah. Feyre's like, ooh, sorry if that was awkward, but this is really important. Of course, the suriel already knows what Feyre wants from it. She wants to know where the Hybern army is hiding. And Feyre's like, yeah, well, other things too, but tell me where the army is first, please. But even the suriel can't see that. Excuse me, say what? The suriel says he uses magic to cloak it. Magic far older than I. Ugh, the fucking cauldron. The cauldron is hiding the army. Are we really surprised by this? I don't know.
No.
It's like, we know the Hybern's like so powerful, or whatever.
Right. The only thing that I keep like having questions on is how does the King of Hybern know all these things about the cauldron and how to wield it? Like, the Book of Breathings is supposed to be the counterbalance to the cauldron in the world, correct? So, like, how does the cauldron actually work, or how do you get it to do your bidding?
Right. I thought the book, right, he doesn't have the instruction manual. I thought the Book of Breathings was how you controlled it wholly or whatever.
Right.
But I guess you can still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Jury's out on Hybern's actual powers. It's being confusing.
Yes.
The suriel is like, yeah, the cauldron sucks, doesn't it? But it's cool. You have one already who can find Hybern. And I was immediately like, Nesta. Yeah. But stupid Feyre, she's like, I already asked Elaine. She can't see it. She can't see past the king's magic. Feyre, you idiot. Let's just use deductive reasoning. Nesta's born of the cauldron. You already know she feels things about the cauldron. And you know that Elaine couldn't find it.
Right. Like, she felt something weird before the cauldron was used to bring down the wall. So, of course, she can sense it being used. Like, this felt like a duh moment. Like, come on, Feyre.
Right. The suriel is nicer than me, though. It just says, then use the other one. Feyre's brain implodes. She's like, use Nesta to find the cauldron? It's again, I just think she really doesn't want Nesta to be able to do something that Feyre can't do.
And she'll use the guise of protecting them as her reasoning behind it, too. Yeah. So,
the suriel's like, yeah, bitch, like calls the like. How many times do we have to say it? The King of Hybern doesn't go anywhere without the cauldron. So if you can find the cauldron, you'll find his army. Okay, sure. How's Nesta supposed to do this? Quote, if she is unskilled, Bones will do the talking for her. And Feyre immediately says, scrying? You mean scrying with Bones? What? How is that your first thought? Scrying has not been mentioned once in this whole series. It's like the witch thing. Until this very moment. And that is somehow the very first thought that Feyre has when the suriel says Bones can tell you. There's no precedent for this at all. We know nothing about scrying. But then I was like, and is it talked about in other series? Like, do the witches do this in Throne of Glass or in Crescent City? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
They do in Crescent City, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I know what scrying is, but also without Feyre saying that, and especially with it never being mentioned once in this book, that was not a thought in my head. I never would have, I wouldn't even remembered scrying was a word or a thing until she said that. And then I was like, oh yeah, scrying. But yeah. And then I'm like, also, it took you forever to realize Elaine was a seer. But the suriel mentions Bones will do the talking for Nesta, and you immediately go to scrying. What the actual fuck?
Right. And I mean, and you kind of mentioned, scrying in witches is kind of this words or actions that are synonymous with each other. When you think of one, you can kind of think of the other. And no one seems to really know too much about witches in Prythian. I mean, it doesn't sound, we've never come across one, at least, right?
I think the first time they've said the word witch was when Devlin says it.
Are you a witch to Nesta? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this just poses the question, why does Feyre have background info on this?
How would she know about scrying at all? Yeah.
Mama Archeron, what were you teaching your young, sweet girls?
Right. Yeah, I wonder. It's you can't teach her to read, but teach her how to scry.
Forget about reading. This is more important.
This is much more important. It can answer a lot of questions for you. Yes. Okay. Then Feyre wants to know why the cauldron didn't react when Feyre joined the book and tried to nullify the cauldron's power. Well, because you didn't hold on for long enough, silly. Who cares if it was about to kill you? Did you think you could leash its power without a cost? Feyre asks if she needs to die for the cauldron to be stopped. The suriel calls Feyre dramatic, which I can't even tell you how happy I was when it said that. Feyre is dramatic.
She is. She is.
But yeah, that spell would have killed Feyre, and unclear if there's another spell that can nullify the cauldron. Plus, it doesn't really matter because the king won't let anyone near it. Fool me once and all that. Feyre asks about the bone carver and if he would have made a difference. Stop asking the suriel difficult questions, Feyre. The suriel can't see the bone carver either because he's not of this world. His thread has not been woven in. But wow, Feyre must really love Prythian if she's willing to risk unleashing that mofo. She's like, yeah, she does love Prythian, okay? But womp womp, Bone Carver wanted the Ouroboros mirror in exchange. Suriel is like, what? The mirror of beginnings and endings? Feyre's like, yeah, but I can't get it. The Suriel knows she's afraid to look and see what's within. Duh, who wouldn't be? Why is everyone so surprised that Feyre's afraid to look in the fucking mirror? That's going to drive you insane.
I know Feyre should just at some point just be like, you go get it and do it then.
Yeah. Like
you think
God.
I'm weird for being afraid? You do it.
Right.
Oh, you don't want to do it? Okay. You don't want to lose your mind and go crazy from
they're like, I can't believe you're a scaredy cat baby.
Yeah.
Feyre asks if the Ouroboros will drive her mad or break her, and the Suriel says, only you can decide what breaks you, Cursebreaker. Only you.
I liked this line a lot. Yeah.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Feyre doesn't think that's really an answer, and certainly not enough of an answer to risk retrieving the mirror. I was like, but it's kind of an answer. Look in the mirror. Don't be a little bitch. I still think they should let Nesta look in the mirror. Nothing's going to break her.
Amen. Yeah.
Then the Suriel says, tell the silver-eyed messenger that the answer lies on the second and penultimate pages of the book. Clearly the book doesn't have page numbers. I think it only has like 4 pages anyway, but 6.
Are they like tablets?
Right. It's like 3 and 3 or something.
I don't.
Together, they hold the key. Feyre's like, the key to what? The key to stopping Hybern. What? Dummy, what are you even doing here?
I know. It's like, you came here to get answers that you couldn't find from the Suriel, and she's giving you answers. However, in Feyre's defense, the Suriel has been notorious for using tricky phrasing. So maybe Feyre is just making extra sure we're not having another stay with the High Lord moment.
But I mean, she knew what that meant, duh. Or the treaty moment. Am I in violation of the treaty? Yeah. The Suriel starts to answer as well to say Hybern, but it stopped mid-sentence because it's shot through the throat with an ash arrow. This was so sad, actually. It gets hit with more arrows, and Feyre lunges toward it, but has to duck behind a tree to avoid getting shot. I was like, the poor Suriel. It's literally just like lying there, dying, so much pain. And then Feyre hears a lilting female voice. Why does it talk to you, Feyre, when it would not even deign to speak with me? I knew that voice, that laughter beneath the words, Ianthe. Ianthe! How many names am I going to scream this at?
I know. I was just thinking the same thing. We get the Jurian, Tamlin, Ianthe.
Like, don't even fucking play with me right now. The Suriel just want to talk to you because you suck.
I know. No one wants to talk to you. Haven't you got the message yet, Ianthe? Literally no one wants to talk to you, ever.
Yeah, Ianthe is no one's friend.
No, except for Tamlin's, which says a lot.
Makes perfect sense. You remember in the beginning of book 2, Feyre, and you were like, Ianthe and Tamlin would be a good pair. I'm worthless. Bleep, bleep, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. They should get together. Okay, Feyre's behind the tree. She's looking at her surroundings. She's like, okay. I'm really, really tired, but I could winnow, run away. But then she realizes the Suriel, poor Suriel, it has all those ash arrows in it. It's fucked. It can't get away. Feyre looks at the Suriel. They lock eyes, and the Suriel's telling Feyre to run. I was like, they are BFFs for real. Like, of course it's looking out for her.
I love the Suriel so much.
No, that. Ianthe starts monologuing. She tells Feyre, it took the King of Hybern days to unravel what you did to me, and Ianthe still can't use most of her hand. Good. Smash it again, bitch.
Fuck yeah. Glad.
Feyre's just, seriously. I hope it hurts a lot. Feyre's just ignoring Ianthe. She's thinking about how she should and could winnow away, but she just can't leave the Suriel. This is like the one time where I'm like, thank you, Feyre, for like being noble and shit. Because I was like, don't leave. Feyre is just racking her brain, trying to figure out how to save the Suriel. She can't just heal it because of the ash arrows, so she'd have to remove them first. And as Ianthe's coming closer and closer, she tells Feyre that Tamlin told Ianthe how Feyre captured the Suriel in the past, so Ianthe also caught it with the cloak, but the suriel wouldn't tell her anything. I was like, if the suriel knows everything, why did it let itself get caught ever? And I was like, is that why Rhys can never catch it? Why did it let Ianthe catch it? Okay, that comes
Right.
back later.
I mean, I think that this is just me personally. I think the suriel gets curious and will let others catch her. It sometimes. Sorry, I keep saying her because I
You
think
think
it's
it's
a
a
her,
girl?
but
I kept
yeah.
saying he earlier, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna say it.
Like she just kind of will do it. It will just kind of do it playfully to like piss them off, like she did with Ianthe. She's like, "Haha, you caught me, but I'm not going to tell you anything." Right.
Right.
I also think it wanted to see Feyre even after like the
Yeah.
first time. I mean, Feyre saved it from the Naga in the first time that they were encountered with each other. Feyre decided
Right.
to, free the suriel from the trap instead of
Mm-hmm.
leave it there. So I think it wanted to see Feyre and let itself be in the danger that it's currently in for reasons we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Also interesting to note that the suriel has the option to not tell Ianthe things. Like for some reason, I thought that like with this truth knowledge that it has take some notes more because the suriel actually does seem to know things. You don't seem to know shit. But it does
Right.
appear to have agency on whether or not it actually divulges that information. So I
Right.
just found this interesting. Yeah.
That is interesting because I mean that's how Feyre was introduced to the suriel by Lucian. Was like, there's a fairy. If you catch it and ask it
It-
questions, it has to tell you the truth or it has to tell you
Mhm.
answers. And
Yeah.
then it turns out the suriel doesn't have to tell you shit.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So, even though the suriel was tight-lipped, Ianthe knew it would probably get caught by Feyre again at some point. So she put a tracking spell, gifted by the King of Hybern, on the cloak, which would be triggered in Feyre's presence if she ever showed up again. Ianthe, you hoe bag! God, can't you just leave well enough alone?
Fucking hate
The
her.
suriel, I know. The suriel is still trying to get Feyre to run. It's clearly in a lot of pain. This really can't be overstated. Feyre does not want Ianthe to take the suriel to Hybern. The suriel answers all your questions, and that's not for the King of Hybern to abuse. Although I guess, I mean, it would hurt. It knows things, so
Yeah.
like I'm sure you could get it to tell you stuff if you were really mean to it.
Right. Yeah.
Feyre's remembering her first encounter with the suriel and how it begged to be released when the Naga were coming, and yet it was willing to be taken to Hybern so Feyre could escape. Suriel.
I know, and it's just that was so sad and so risky because just kind of like Feyre had just said, Hybern having a being like the suriel, if he could figure out a way to force it to answer his questions and get,
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically like having a seer is what the suriel
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
Totally.
be really
And it's like,
costly. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's cryptic, but probably less cryptic than a seer too, because Elaine just like is a, what's it called? Like her visions just come to her, right? I don't think she like,
right. She
she's
doesn't
at the
seek
mercy.
them.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's at the
yes,
mercy of her
yes.
visions, and the suriel is like, I just know. So Ianthe's still yapping away and says the king put a shield in her mind, so Feyre can't use her little tricks this time. Feyre peeks out and notes that Ianthe only has 2 guards with her. Even after all this time, Ianthe still underestimates Feyre.
I underlined this part and I thought Feyre might be like unseasoned and she does make mistakes, but Ianthe's ego is what actually gets Ianthe in trouble. Like Feyre underestimates people because she's just a baby and like she doesn't quite understand some of the nuances like between people sometimes. But Ianthe just can't see past her priestess cloak and just yeah.
Right. She's always wearing a hood. She has no peripheral vision,
Exactly.
Blinders. Feyre starts gearing up. She looks at the suriel again, and it realizes Feyre is about to Feyre. The suriel's like, no, don't fucking do it. But Feyre steps out into the clearing and tells Ianthe, I should have slit your throat that night in the tent. Yeah, you should have.
Wish you
One of the
would've.
guards, tries to shoot an arrow at Feyre, but she's able to block it with an air shield. Just barely, though. She's very tired, remember? Ianthe's like, you want to be nice to me right now. I'm going to be your best advocate in Hybern. Feyre's like, you have to catch me first. And she takes off running. I was like, oh my God, is she going to the Weaver's cottage? I was like so amped at this part. I was so excited. Because I couldn't remember what happens.
I know. I was like, I got the tingles. I was getting so excited.
Yeah. Like this whole section of book was very enjoyable for me because like I forgot about Jurian. So that was like a real like reveal. Same with Tamlin. I was like, what the fuck? And Ianthe even right now. And I was just like, this is amazing. It's like I'm reading it for the first time. I have no idea what's going to happen next.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah. So Feyre's fucking jetting through the woods. It feels like the woods are cooperating with her, making it easier for her to get through. It's like making room for her. And it's also making it more difficult for Ianthe and the Hybern guards to get through. It's like all of a sudden, Feyre's in Fanghorn Forest. The Ents are helping her.
Yes. They are.
Feyre starts to recognize her surroundings. She knows she's getting close to the cottage. Suddenly, she's in the clearing. Let's fucking go! Feyre is going to make them pay for what they did. And at this point, Feyre starts to play her little mind games, her little spring court tricks. She whispers, "Help me." And she knows Ianthe and the guards can hear her. She made sure they heard that. And then, so like the Weaver's door is half open. Feyre hurls herself over the threshold.
And I was really scared that the door was going to slam shut just because she was like running so fast and trying to get, you know what I mean? Like I was very worried for Feyre that it was she was going to get slammed inside. Ianthe was going to be on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. So Feyre grabs the door handle as she goes inside and uses that to stop herself. She like arrests her momentum very quickly. She makes sure the door does not shut. I can like imagine that so vividly. Like
me too.
The grabbing the handle and like stopping herself.
Yeah.
Everybody slid on the floor in socks, man. You know.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, she does not let the door shut. Very important.
I know. See what I mean? She risky businessed it right in there.
Yes. Yeah, we know that fucking door doesn't have a handle on the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't get out. Yeah. Feyre is holding the door open. It's an effort, but she cannot let it close and lock her in. I think it's just like open a crack. And it feels like invisible hands are shoving against it. But Feyre is like, fuck you, no. It's dark in the cottage, and Feyre hears the Weaver's voice say, thief. So scary. Ianthe is tittering outside, and she's chastising Feyre a little bit about how that was selfish of Feyre, hiding there, since now they're going to have to kill whoever is inside the cottage with Feyre. Best of luck.
But also, like, does Ianthe not know the lore around the Weaver?
I know. I was like,
what?
I mean, I guess she has like been, like, she didn't live in Prythian for a while. Well, she's relatively young, but you would think if you're a native Prythian, you would know about the Weaver.
Yeah.
Feyre's just impatiently waiting, holding the door open, making sure Ianthe can't see her. The Weaver realizes Feyre has seen the bone carver because she can smell him on Feyre. The Weaver's just being fucking creepy. And I guess this is not good news for the bone carver because now there's a paper trail.
Like, right? He's staying in the prison to hide. Like, that's what he said. He's there because he does not want to run into his scary brother and sister, who don't actually seem to leave where they live either. So I don't really fully understand that part. But it doesn't seem like the Weaver or Crochet know that the bone carver is still around.
Right. So, like, they don't know where he is. Yeah, 100%. Also, I mean, I get why this wasn't revealed to us in book 2. But like Feyre visited the bone carver first and then she went to the Weaver, and like the Weaver didn't smell him on her before. But like we also didn't know they were brother and sister yet. So like I get why you couldn't, pull that. But yeah, that makes me wonder, like, was that something that like she decided on in the third book, or was it always a thing and she just like left that out? Anyway. But also, I was surprised that the Weaver didn't immediately attack Feyre. And then I was like, does the door have to be closed for the Weaver to,
for her magic or for her to be able to leave her work on her doom?
Feyre can feel the Weaver start to walk toward her, and the Weaver still wants to know what Feyre is. Dumb Ianthe's getting closer, taunting Feyre. Ianthe's like, oh my god, this is so boring, Feyre. You think you can ambush us? I know how tired you are. Your shield barely blocked that arrow. And I don't think your little glowing trick will help this time. Ianthe is still so salty about being undermined at the solstice.
I underlined the same thing and I was like, jealous much?
Yes.
Really?
It's like, okay, girl, let it go,
Right.
The Weaver's dress rustles as she creeps closer in the gloom. She asks, who did you bring, little wolf? Who did you bring to me? I was like, yes, make the Weaver like you by bringing her raw materials to spin. Just like any other animal. It's like, here, take some food. Ianthe and the guards step over the threshold and are inside the cottage, but they don't see Feyre. And Feyre says dinner to the Weaver, and then Feyre runs out the door, lets go of the handle, And right as the door is slamming shut, Feyre sees Ianthe make a ball of fey light to illuminate the room. And Feyre sees, quote, the horrible face of the weaver, that mouth of stump teeth opening wide with delight and unholy hunger, a death god of old, starved for life, with a beautiful priestess before her. I was already hurtling for the trees when the guards and Ianthe began screaming. Oh my God. Ianthe gets unraveled. I'm so happy. Like, I know it's fucked up, but still. Yeah, I totally forgot about this part. It was so awesome. This is like the best part.
I know.
Of the,
it's my favorite, like, true villain or character death in maybe any book I've ever read. I know it's brutal, but I have zero sympathy for Ianthe. And I'm so happy that this is how it ended for her. Like, it would have been easy for Feyre to slit her throat in the tent. It maybe would have been easy for Feyre to even do more to her before she and Lucien fled. This feels just...
It's fitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
the catharsis.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, do you think the weaver grabs like one little piece and then unravels their whole body, and that's like the thread that she weaves onto like the little cone?
Girl, I wasn't thinking about it like that, but now I am. So
I know, but like they scream for so long.
I know, because I'm thinking of like starting at like extremities. You know what it like? Ew.
Right.
But I think you're probably right, because they scream for a long time.
Or you know how you have to like card wool? Like maybe she takes them and she's like, it's all their threads in the right order, and then she can turn them into little tiny.
Oh. Gross.
Yeah, so Feyre runs back to the suriel and she says, I can hear their unending screams for half a mile. By the time Feyre gets back, the screams have faded. Unclear if they faded because she's so far away or because they're finally dead. I don't know.
They got,
so the suriel is where Feyre left it. It's dying. Feyre wants to help, but there's nothing she can do. The suriel doesn't want Feyre to waste her magic, and the suriel asks Feyre to stay with it until the end, and Feyre apologizes to it. She holds its hand, and she's feeling really guilty, but the suriel tells Feyre that it knew about the tracking on the cloak. I was like, okay, right, we kind of talked about this earlier. How can you trick the suriel when it knows all the things? So then that makes me think, yeah, like it only ever gets caught by people, fae, whatever, that it wants to get caught by or for some purpose or to set like larger events in motion.
Exactly. It was like it knew Feyre was coming. It threw on the tracking cloak and then also knew Feyre would be victorious. Like,
yeah,
the suriel knew that Ianthe was bad news and knew that this was the outcome that was going to happen, I think.
Yeah. And so, Feyre's like, okay, well, if you knew this would happen, like, why did you come? The suriel likes Feyre. She was always nice to it. Feyre's crying. I was crying. I know Cammy was crying. This is very sad.
Crying's not enough of a word. Ugly. Sobbing was a better description. I love the suriel.
Yeah.
I didn't wear it. I should have in honor, but I have a Suriel Tea Company shirt that I wear. I love it.
Yeah. Feyre tells the suriel it was nice to her too, and she thanks it for helping her when no one else would. The suriel smiles a little bit and says, Feyre Archeron, I told you to stay with the High Lord, and you did. And Feyre finally realizes that the suriel meant Rhys. Duh.
I was like, wait, Feyre, you just figured this out right now? Oh my God, you're so dumb. I thought we figured this out in the last book.
She probably didn't think about it, ever again or whatever.
Yeah.
Feyre's like, all this time? The suriel reiterates, stay with him and live to see everything righted. Feyre's like, I did, and it was. But the suriel isn't talking about the past, it's talking about now. Feyre needs to continue to stay with Rhys. And I was like, interesting. But does he say Rhys explicitly? Or is he still like, stay with the High Lord? What if he's still talking about fucking Tamlin? Or some other High Lord?
Well, the suriel just like confirmed, like, yes, I did mean Rhys, the other High Lord. But yeah.
But I was like, okay, interesting. Stay with Rhys. Also, the suriel says Feyre's full name like so many times, and I was like, that has to also be significant too. Like, why use her full name?
I think it's really important anytime any of the sisters use their full name. I don't know. I just think it's significant. Also, Feyre, can you stop leaving Rhys's side? Can you just remember this?
Yeah.
Stop leaving Rhys's side.
Yeah. We still have a good amount of book to go.
I know.
Fair amount. Feyre tries to get the suriel to tell her its name, but it won't. It's like, does it matter? Yeah, actually, it matters a lot. Tell me right now.
Caltain. Okay. Omissions, in all serious note, though, omissions of names, I think, is super important for Sarah J.
Yeah.
Maas. So I
Yeah.
think that there's a reason that I think it's going to come back. That's why we don't know
Yeah.
any of these women's names. We don't know
Right. I'm
Reese's
very
mom.
interested.
Yeah. We don't know
Mhm.
Lady Autumn's name. We don't know the
Right.
Archerons. We don't know Reese's mother or sister's name. I mean, I think it's
Right. We don't know
important.
anybody's
There's a
last name.
reason. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. So the suriel has one final request for Feyre. Leave this world a better place than how you found it. And then it dies. But Feyre realizes that the suriel is a dreamer, and that's why it was willing to help her. So Feyre just cries and cries and doesn't leave until she feels a strong hand on her shoulder. This scared me a lot, actually. I thought Feyre was about to get fucked.
Yeah. Literal jump scare for sure. It's
Mhm.
like, ah!
But it is actually Helion. I also thought I was like, is somebody impersonating him? Like, what is the
Yeah.
trick? Somehow
Mhm.
he tracked Feyre down. Feyre covers the suriel with Helion's cloak, and he burns the suriel with his sun power, or whatever it is. As Helion is winnowing them away to go back to the camp, quote, I could have sworn that the pile of ashes was stirred by a phantom wind. The end.
What that mean?
Yeah, it was like the suriel's off to be a suriel somewhere else, I guess.
Maybe off on the
Who
wind.
knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the end of that part. Wow, what a sad note. I got halfway through the next chapter before I even realized. I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to keep reading.
We got to pause here. I mean, and just the way that this particular part ends, the highest of highs with Ianthe getting got, and then the
Yeah.
lowest of lows for the
Right. You
suriel
like
to
kind of
die.
forget
Ugh.
for a little bit that the suriel's back there like dying because
Yes,
you're just
because
so
you're
fucking
so
amped.
and you're stressed. You don't want the Weaver to get Feyre instead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I'm like, you fed her food, you gave her like a very nice treat, like not even just like here's a sacrifice, here's a very pretty sacrifice. It's like all your dreams. So I'm
Mhm.
like, what's the Weaver gonna, like that's gonna come back too. It's just like those fucking water wraiths
Right,
at the spring court. Like something's gonna Weaver again, and it's
right.
gonna,
Hmm. Yeah,
I feel, how could it not?
yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, we're getting so. If anybody, well, you guys are listening to us in this in-depth detail. Sarah J. Maas books, the last 100 pages are just insane, and we
Yeah.
are
Oh yeah.
approaching that. So
Mm-hmm.
we are approaching that portion.
Yeah.
It's gonna get real
Yeah.
crazy. I think we only have 2 episodes left of this book.
Yes. It's gonna
Hmm.
be, it's like 22 chapters or something.
Yes. Yeah. Hmm. So we've
So
got a lot of stuff is about ready to happen in those 22 chapters. Oh my
yes.
gosh. Yes. Very
I am
excited.
psyched. Cause yeah, there's a couple of big things that I remember, but
Yeah.
it's vague. I'm like, am I even remembering it like correctly? I don't know. So
Right. Right.
ah.
Ah.
But yeah, this part was like very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Like this little
Mm-hmm.
section, it's like very action packed.
Yes.
Very action packed. We get some
Yeah.
like talk about a payoff.
No kidding.
And this was like the lengthiest conversation Feyre's had with the suriel, so we like really learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
from it.
Right. And just that, because it almost gets this, I think that when Feyre described its physical characteristics, it's scary looking. It's like skeletal,
Yes.
like I think Dementor-y is kind of
Mhm.
how I
Mhm.
imagine it in my head. And
Yeah.
so I think it was important in this part just to show that, like, just just because it looks like a monster doesn't mean it's a monster, and it was there to
Yeah.
help her, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then opposite, like Ianthe is the monster and she looks pretty, so just remember that it was a
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with just Ianthe's death alone, I'm like 5 stars.
I know. This book gets 5 stars for that alone. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm amped up. I'm excited to to just finish this book and then
Me too.
to know what's happening. So, okay. I don't know Anything else? Maybe
I
you want
don't
to
think
add?
so.
I
I
think we've
don't.
said enough. You know what I
I do too.
mean?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening. If you did,
Mhm.
we love you.
We love you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.